try to be an angel and I try to be a saint, and I try to be everything that deep inside I know I ain't, and I try to remain on top but then realize that I sink inside of an endless maze that I'll never be able to escape.
Hey everyone, it's Derek Martin, aka LegitdDrick here, where I tell you what I think, how I see things, and any comments that disagree or ask questions will be prioritized. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about a hypocritical, two-faced scumbag that is still trying to pretend like he's on our side. And half the base because he was such a reputable source before and he gained so much people's trust, like so much of the base, still takes his word as gospel, and they don't know how to question simple things that he says, and it's really getting annoying. So in this video, I'm just gonna point out the contradictions in his words and the obvious ridiculousness in his words as he says them, and I'm gonna point out the complete contrast of how he sounds now and how he used to sound. So, if you know, you know. I'm talking about Tucker Carlson. I loved him so much. I watched his show whenever he was on Fox almost every single day. Yeah, I was a huge Tucker Carlson fan. And I really was glad whenever Fox let him go because I knew he could do much better without them. I knew they were probably just holding him back, and I was right. You know, I mean, it seemed like he was doing a lot better. You know, I mean, he still had his connections and everything. So, he was doing good. But about a year ago, give or take, I mean, that's whenever I started to notice it, at least. I mean, I didn't think anything of it at first, but now that I'm thinking of it, it's around the same time that Candace started acting weird, and I agree with a lot of what they say. I mean, before and currently. But it's the way they say it. They know how to twist and contort the truth and take what you feel and your values, and they know how to manipulate you using them. It's just like the mainstream media, all the talking heads, they all have the same playbook. This is nothing different. So, let me get into it. Does someone want to explain to me why Tucker Carlson out here supporting Sharia law?
Afghan people didn't like it either, all the drug trafficking that was going on in their country. And what made the Taliban popular originally was their suppression of the drug industry in Afghanistan. They took over and eliminated all of the drug production that was taking place there because you can see how it's ideologically consistent with their Sharia law. Mm-hmm. They don't tolerate drugs. They don't tolerate alcohol either. So they get rid of all of it.
Sharia law is bad, Seth. I don't know if you've heard that. It's bad. It's worse than what's happening in New York and Detroit. It's just bad.
Us,
I don't know why. It's just like
Jews,
years of brainwashing. I just like, I'm not Muslim. I'm not for Sharia law. On the other hand, compared to what? Compared to Baltimore? Shut up. Sharia law.
Shut up.
Well,
sorry, Sharia law.
Laugh.
In Afghanistan, the effect of implementing Sharia law was.
Yeah. Shut up, he says, talking about an issue that he used to wail on the drum about, like, give me a break. This guy's a joke.
with total suppression of the heroin industry and the decimation of the world's supply of heroin.
And a massive reduction in the rape of boys. They didn't like that.
That's another subject that's absolutely part of.
You hear that? The religious zealots that throw gays off of buildings, they don't rape little boys, so that's good. Do you guys still listen to him? Are you serious? Can you think for yourself for 5 seconds? Can you ask yourself simple questions? Can you point out the ridiculousness in what he's saying? This Tucker segment is from 2017. This is the way he used to talk about Muslims and Sharia law.
Are you worried about Islamic terrorism? Well, you shouldn't be, because a new poll by Pew Research finds that only 20% of Muslims believe that targeting civilians can be acceptable as a tactic to further a religious cause. That means if you meet 5 Muslims, only one of them is likely to think it's okay to kill you. So that's good. You know, there are a lot of well-educated, affluent Muslims in this area around D.C. But I've seen a bunch of polls like this that show that the attitudes of faithful Muslims are not Western at all, and that they include a tolerance of violence you don't find among, say, Presbyterians or Jews. So what? That's not good.
You know, I have not seen that specific poll.
So a lot of Americans are concerned about Sharia law.
Sure.
And they're concerned about polls that show a strikingly large number of Muslims would like to see it supplant civil law in the countries in which they live. Great Britain, for instance, a huge percentage would like to see it become the law of Great Britain. And in the United States, pretty large number say the same. But in England, it's 4 out of 10 British Muslims. In France, 29% of French Muslims would like to see it replace French law. Why shouldn't that make Americans nervous as more Muslims move here? But in countries with high percentages of Muslims, I think every country with a high percentage of Muslims, there's not religious pluralism, actually. I don't know of a single Gulf country where it's illegal to proselytize on behalf of another religion. I think that in every Muslim majority country in the world, non-Muslims are treated, have fewer rights. So why wouldn't that give Americans pause, again, as many Muslims are moving here? Every Arab country, every single one, has separate rights for Muslims and non-Muslims. In every single Christian majority country I'm aware of, religious pluralism is the law. So there's a massive difference in outlook. A lot of Muslims seem to see Islam not just as a religion, but as a political system. I mean, that seems real to me. Why deny that? So you often hear people say, well, Sharia is intolerant, women are treated badly, gays are treated badly. And then you hear people say, no, actually, it's an early form of feminism and women are empowered. But then if you look at it, actually women have, in the Quran, fewer rights than men do. And that just seems incompatible with attitudes in the West right now.
Those rights didn't come in the West until the 20th century.
I think that's all true. But we're in the 21st century.
I know.
And things are very different now.
Yeah.
And so you still, for example, in countries governed by Sharia, see things like female testimony being less valuable than male testimony. Inheritance rights are different for daughters than they are for sons. Men and women are not treated equally under Sharia right now. So
That was Tucker then, and this is Tucker now. I wonder what changed.
Like Abu Dhabi or Riyadh, like, oh man, I hope we don't ever wind up with a society like this with a rape rate of 0 where you leave your keys.
That's not true, by the way. They redefine what a rape is.
In your Lamborghini and don't ever worry about it being stolen. If people want to get wasted, they do it at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh boy, I hope we don't wind up with that.
In a culture that cuts off your hands and fingers for thievery and stones you for drunkenness, and he's really gonna act like that's a win. Oh yeah, I really hope we don't end up like that, all sarcastically. Like, yeah, I really hope we don't in the land of the free and home of the brave. I don't know why he changed his tune so much. I mean, maybe it's because of all that money he got to interview the leader of Qatar and the Ayatollah. I don't know, you know. But I'm trying not to make these videos so long. It's hard because I always have so much to say. I'm definitely going to be saying more about him. But until then, I highly encourage everybody, be careful who you trust, and make sure to do your due diligence. It's pretty late, and I am going to bed. So, thank you very much. If you're new to my channel, check out the streaming links in the description and on my social media. You can find everything through the Linktree in the description. So, thank you very much. And comment below, like, subscribe, and keep it legit. Thanks.
Because I used to be full of nothing but anger and hate on a daily basis. But lately my brain is going through changes, and it's been making me think that I'm fake or maybe misplaced. So now I'm breaking through my chains and will no longer be restrained.